I work outside in the garden. What a beautiful sight. They went out wearing a coat. There were a lot of people outside. Everyone was busy, talking with each other. They smiled at everyone. I sat on the bench. They smiled seeing the children playing. Jungkook is calling you there. A child come near Theon and point toward the trees in the distance. They were surprised. Why would he call me there? Theon was surprised. The boy shrugged and ran away. After thinking for a while, they got up and moved toward a group of trees. Watching his lips, there was a slowness in his step, but there was no one there. It seems that the child had made fun of me. But how did the child know his name? They turned around and suddenly started to run away from there, when someone forced they and pulled his hair behind and threw they down. They fell down screaming. Darling, is it painful? I told you not to grow your hair, but you have grown it again. You don't even listen to me. What I say? What should I do with you? They turned around quickly at the scary sound. He was standing in front of them. His face was covered with a black hoodie, but his lips were decorated with a poisonous smile. They had woken up and looked at him with pointed eyes. You? They had mumbled. Yeah, I come. Where you are, he had said while removing his hoodie from his face. The young had started running and he pulled their face behind and threw him on the ground again. They screamed in pain and started calling him. Jungkook, darling, no one will come to save you here. Because I have made the whole garden empty. Now no one can hear your voice except me. When I said that you're mine, then how did you marry this Jungkook? He had sat down on his knees, whispered to him. They looked at him with hateful eyes. Die, may you die the death of a dog. I must have been scared, but now, not now. They was furious and hit his stomach. They started running away when Ali pulled his hair and tried to pull they down. Theon, their lips automatically turned into a smile at the sound coming from a distance. I will not give up on you. After ruining my career, and you get married here and enjoy yourself. Impossible. That was not happen. Ali ran toward the road, going to the opposite direction, angry with him, while they was looking at the road from where he was now invisible. Wearing black suit, sleeves rolled up, in his elbows as usual, Jungkook was coming toward they were decreasing the slope. Theon, he had come running after there, seeing him fallen down. Are you okay? How did you get here? He said worriedly, while picking Theon up. They shook up and held him by his elbow. How did you get here there? He asked seriously when they suddenly hugged they. With a slight moisture in his eyes, Jungkook was worried. He was keeping his head on his chest and was silent. Theon, I had told you not to leave the room. Then why did you came out and not even inform me? They said while patted their head with worry. I had come out for a walk here. I came here when a boy started and he had gone his way. They pointed toward the road and spoke in a sad tone. Jungkook had turned toward the road with a red face. His lips were pursed. They kept watching him run. Jungkook was now standing on the road with both hands on his breast and looked around angrily. Who is it? Who has tried to raise his eyes on Jungkook's wife? Came forward. Bloody man, he shouted angrily. Althea was slowly moving toward him. How did you know? I was here, they said in surprise. And you approached him. The guard, they told me. He saw you two going this way a while ago. You had just left me alone. I had lost my way. They bowed his head and spoke in a low tone. Did you see his face? Who tried to disturb you? Jungkook held him wrist and said seriously as they went toward the hotel. Yeah, he looked like a beast. He was speaking with great hatred. Rather, he was expressing his anger. Jungkook stopped and looked at Tae in surprise. They had started to curse him. Ivy. He shook their head and said in surprise, and they suddenly stopped. They started looking at him. Theon, are you conscious? He spoke seriously. They shook his head in denial while looking at his face. His eyes were filled with tears. What was that? Jungle looked at their face carefully and said in a cool tone, They remained silent. His eyes were on his face. They were sniffed and started wiping his nose with his hand. Jungkook, who loved cleanness, winked his nose and saw his movement. They had already held his hand with his hand that wiped his nose and walked inside the hotel. Jungkook was surprised to see his hand locked with his. I have to see this tattoo, he himself had muttered. You go. I'll first meet the manager, he sent Taehin, and himself walked toward the manager's room with quiet step. Jungkook had entered the elevator running. When he had come into the room, he stood in front of the mirror. What's gonna happen if Jungkook didn't come on time? He was scared and mumbled to himself. They had fallen on the bed without taking off his long shoes. Jungkook came to the room half an hour later. He came in. He was lying on the bed and asleep. Both hands were under his head. He walked slowly and came closer to Theon. He was now calling him, but they had probably fallen into deep sleep. His soft breathing indicated that he was fallen into a deep sleep. He leaned closer to Tae, rubbed his forehead. This was the first time in his life he had ever touched someone's shoes. He couldn't even dream that one day he would have to take off his Irish shoes. He gently touched his shoes. After taking them off, he made them lie down straight. Theong's hair was shattered over his face. Jungkook wrapped a blanket over Theong and sat there. His eyes were on his existence. There was coldness in his eyes. What do you think? I will destroy your face? I will welcome you with cakes. Just come in front of me. He was lifting his arms and legs hitting the bed. He was fighting with someone, even in his sleep. Jungkook came closer to him in surprise. Was now lifted his hand and hit the bed. Theon? Jungkook had suddenly put his hand on T's lips and shouted. He didn't have the courage to listen to Theon more. He suddenly opened his eyes and started looking at him. Where did you learn to curse? You were cursing in his sleep, he said angrily. But I didn't know how to curse. I'm hearing this word for the first time. They spoke with fake innocence. Theon, he spoke in a tight tone. I'm telling the truth. Have I ever told you a lie that I am going to tell today? They said again, shrugged his shoulder. You will never change, right? In response, they shook his head in negative. You are making me crazy. You ruined my mind. They quickly lie down, taking the blanket to his face. After a while, they were shocked. Jungkook had come and lay down with him. Why are you laying on my bed?